Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I am a very, very happy man right now. Joshua Zirkzee has come onto the pitch at Old Trafford, absolutely changed the game. And Amad Diallo, what else can we say about Amad Diallo, the diminutive figure who scored a hat-trick here at Old Trafford tonight and continues to be loved by Manchester United fans, because everything he does on the pitch is with intent, with purpose, whether it's defensively, whether it's attacking wise, he has got it all. And again, today, I don't think he was particularly at his best like a lot of Manchester United players today, but I tell you something, he dug in, he kept going to the final whistle, got himself a hat-trick and got Manchester United 3 points. But last time I was here at Old Trafford, Joshua Zirkzee got booed off the pitch by a section of Manchester United supporters. Now, I wasn't included in those, although I thought his performance against Newcastle that day was absolutely abysmal. But a lot of Manchester United fans did boo him, and it was something that wasn't very tasteful. But today, he changed the game. Before he even got onto the pitch, Manchester United fans were singing his name, which was refreshing to hear, because after that stuff against Newcastle, when he had a bad day, then we boo him off just before half-time when he comes off as a sub. He jogs down to the tunnel looking like he's about to cry. It wasn't a position I like to see us put our players in. I thought to myself, how can you get the best out of players if you're going to be doing that to them? But Joshua Zirkzee has dug in, worked hard, grafted. He's had a point to prove, and in the last couple of games he has proved it for Manchester United. And today he was the reason why Manchester United won this game. It's really that simple. Yes, Amad Diallo got the hat-trick. Yes, Amad Diallo, scored the goals, and he's going to be someone that grabs the headlines. But Joshua Zirkzee's performance was absolutely fantastic. Holding up the ball, linking up the play with his teammates, bringing others into play. Probably could have had a goal himself, but his all-round play was incredible today, and he thoroughly deserves man of the match. Amad Diallo will get it with the match ball. He got a hat-trick, as you'd expect, but Joshua Zirkzee deserves it just as much. And before I go on to the bad things about Manchester United's performance, and trust me, they're coming, because it wasn't great today at all, and maybe you can go, you know what, we played 120 minutes against Arsenal. It was a difficult game against them. We had 10 men for like 60 minutes of that, maybe more. And you're looking at that and you're thinking, of course some of these players are going to be tired. Of course they are. But you can't excuse some of the stuff that you were seeing. But I tell you, someone that didn't show fatigue, didn't show that he was tired. Ligt was absolutely outstanding today. He was a rock at the back. He got the crowd going with a couple of tackles. He was absolutely excellent today. And after the Liverpool game, I was a little bit worried, because he kind of cost us the 3 points in that game, giving away the penalty. And then you obviously had where he dives in, gets beat, and Liverpool scored from that instance. I think it was Luis Diaz at the time. But today, he was a colossus. He was everywhere on that pitch. He was absolutely fantastic, and it was a big performance from Ligt. I'm a big fan of Ligt, and I want him to do well at Manchester United. And those kind of performances will help him do well at Manchester United. It will help the crowd love him. It will help him feel more comfortable at the club. He was immense today. Absolutely immense, and not many players on the pitch. I know we've won here 3-1 and we're all joyous. Man United have come from behind late on, and I know all that kind of stuff, but there weren't many players out there that deserve much of a nod today. Manuel Ugarte got subbed early on, maybe down to fatigue. He was incredible against Arsenal at the Emirates. As we said, 120 minutes with 10 men for 60 minutes of that game. Maybe he needed to be taken off to save himself. Maybe it was always planned. I thought he was very, very good throughout the game, and I was surprised to see him come off. Kobbie Mainoo came off at half-time. Again, maybe down to fatigue, because whilst I thought Manchester United were poor, I didn't really feel like it came from those two midfielders. I didn't really feel like it came from the midfield. I felt like it came from the front line. We just couldn't hold the ball up. And Rasmus Højlund, I'm a big fan of his. I want him to do well at the club. I believe he deserves some time. But that performance today wasn't it. You're not going to get time playing for Manchester United like that week in, week out. And that's not to say he has done, but in the recent weeks he's been very, very poor. And a lot of people will be rushing to say Joshua Zirkzee should start against Brighton on Sunday. And I'm another one of those as well, because I thought today Rasmus Højlund was poor. You need to keep both of these players on their toes. You need to keep Rasmus Højlund on his toes and make sure he feels like he's in a fight for his shirt at the club, because he was poor today, and you can't keep starting him if he's going to perform like that. Now look, I'm not naive enough to think Joshua Zirkzee is definitely the answer, A week or two ago, he was getting booed off here at Manchester United just before half-time against Newcastle. So, you know, we can't rush to judgment on players. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Rasmus Højlund. I think when you look at his stats and the goal conversion rate that he has, but far too often this season, he's just focusing on fighting defenders. Bruv, you got to hold the ball up. You got to go to the ball sometimes. You got to mix up your play. You can't just be so predictable. And he is very, very predictable at the moment. Joshua Zirkzee, on the other hand, he was far from predictable today. Every single thing he did on the ball was very, very good. Hats off to him, because it's very, very hard to come back from that. He looked mentally and emotionally affected by the booing when he came off the pitch, but he did jog back out of that tunnel. He did rejoin his teammates on the bench, and maybe that was a little bit of something where he went back and said to himself, you know what, I'm going to prove these guys wrong. I'm going to show these lot. And that's exactly what he's doing, not just today, but in the game against Arsenal. He scores the winning penalty. He didn't score today, but he was absolutely fantastic. Hats off to you, Joshua Zirkzee. But like I said at the start of this video, it's not all roses for Man United, because large parts of this game today, and 15-20 minutes ago before I started recording this video was going to be very, very different, because United's performance was poor from back, not from back to front actually, because Andre Onana kept us in the game. And I've seen a few people kind of, I need to see the goal again, because there's some people questioning his part in that. I thought he nearly made a heroic save, but maybe I'm wrong. It's an own goal for Mama Ugarte to give Southampton the lead, but Southampton were thoroughly deserving of their lead, even if the corner that they eventually scored from shouldn't have been a corner, because they were offside and it maybe went off one of their players. We've seen that a few times recently, and I know VAR don't interrupt in terms of corners, but if it's decisions, like, how can you not just have a word in the ref's ear? It takes 10 seconds. You're live on air to him. Just say, yo, that one's not their corner. That's not a corner, it's a goal kick. You know, I think we've seen it in the Arsenal-Tottenham game as well. Like, we see far too many coincidences with some of these decisions, and surely with VAR, with it there, it's just, yo, it's not a corner. You don't need to go over to the video or nothing like that. You just need to tell him it's not a corner, because it either is or it isn't. And I didn't feel it was, and I thought it was potentially offside as well. They scored from that, but they deserved to score. They deserved to be ahead, because they were excellent throughout the game. They were creating chances. They looked more comfortable on the ball. They looked like the team that, this is going to be a championship team. They didn't look like a championship team today, because Manchester United allowed them to play us off the park. Sulemana was excellent. Gave Leny Yoro a horrid time today. Look, big fan of Leny Yoro. I think he's got a huge future at Manchester United, and I think more often than not, when he's come in to play for Manchester United, he's been very, very good. Despite some of the goals we've conceded, I don't think they've really been his fault. But today, he was given a really bad time. Sulemana had him for pace. He had him for the spaces he was creating around him. Leny Yoro didn't really know where to go or stand. It was a big, big performance from Sulemana today, and not a very good one from Leny Yoro. Like I said, though, Onana excellent, Ligt excellent, Lisandro Martinez, you know, decent performance, but nothing to write home about. In the midfield, I thought Ugarte was very good before he got taken off. I think Kobbie Mainoo could do more. I don't think he was particularly bad, but he can definitely do more. Amad Diallo, I would have liked when we made the substitute to bring Anthony on, to maybe put Anthony at the right wing back position. I'm not going to talk about Anthony. Everyone knows how I feel about him, and he can be epitomised by the chance that he missed. How are you missing that? One of the worst misses I've ever seen. Remember Ronaldo at Borough and Giggs against Arsenal. But those were actually good players, and when they missed, you were like, what the fuck's going on? When Anthony missed, it was like, I half expected it, because I don't think he's very good, and it was a shame that we didn't have another substitute to bring on. That's what it makes me think maybe the Kobbie Mainoo thing was fitness rather than, this is a bright idea. Because Rasmus Højlund was maybe the one that should have came off at half-time for Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee eventually did come on, and like I said, he changed the game for Manchester United today. Absolutely fantastic. Garnacho, again, I've been someone who said, don't sell Garnacho. Based on that performance today, I wouldn't really care if you sold him. Look, obviously, I do still want to keep him, but I'm just saying, if you're going to perform like that week in, week out for this manager, then if you do get sold, you can't really complain. I do think he's still got a lot more to come. I think he's got a very high ceiling, and I think he's already done enough to say, maybe not in recent weeks, but he's already done enough to say that Man United should keep a hold of him. But your performances have got to be better than that. Look, Collier came on, made a difference today. I think he was showed good energy. Nice to know that we've got him on the substitutes bench, and it was great to see us get a win, because vitally important. if United lose today against Southampton, or even draw, how many questions are going to start to be asked of the players and the manager again? And look, we're still asking questions about those players. But it's just nice to see the manager get a win today. And in the end, it was comfortable. Amad Diallo, Joshua Zirkzee, hats off to you. You were absolutely fantastic. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Obviously, some very good things we saw from a few players. But in the main, not a great performance from Manchester United. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure you keep it like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, at a cold Old Trafford, I'm AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.